Mama.
Hey, how are you?
I am awesome. I'm like, I was like
Yay.
2 minutes late. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, don't even worry about it. No, I'm just excited to jump on and chat. So,
Yes. I love your voice. Oh my God. How are you today?
yay, so good. Just working in casting. It's fun times.
Yes. Let's jump into it because you are a busy mama. I don't have my babies are big and young now. I don't, but I remember those days. I couldn't blog the
Oh,
way I do now if my kids were your kids' age. I know I couldn't have done it. So it was a blessing that I waited till they got to college to do it.
nice. I know that's how I'm waiting for that, but it's nice. I'm trying to take every day and appreciate it and the moments that we go through, even when I feel like I need a glass of wine at the end of the day.
100%. With being that small, you're a beautiful family though, Milo. Let me say that right away. And just beautiful family. Your husband, everything. I was talking to Stacey. She was like, "Oh my God, they're like a genius couple." I was like,
Oh, thank you.
"Tell Brenda." She said that, please. 'Cause she said they're just
I will.
okay.
Brendan, he'll
So
appreciate that.
you actually got into Big Brother. I feel like years ago, where when women weren't really winning competition shows. Did you know you were going to be a pioneer? Did you have any idea?
Oh, wow, a pioneer.
Yes.
I love that. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that because I walked in the footsteps of Daniel Reyes and Janelle and I think and Jordan had won the season before even. But I think I brought to the game a new level of competition without being necessarily just like apologetic, I guess. So I
Mm,
think that maybe that did change the game a little because, or, a pioneer, I guess, because I think, you know, a lot of times we see the girls that are like, oh, I'm sorry for doing this and that and the other thing. And then I was like, I'm just unapologetically myself and I'm going to win competitions and I'm going to tell you if I don't like you. And that's how
that
it's going to,
the
that's
pioneer.
what's going to happen. Yeah.
That makes you a pioneer. Let me tell you something, Mom. You came through like a train. When you
Oh,
see
thank
the
you.
life vest, baby, say one time, get the life vest together. When I first saw that, I was like, oh my God, what is this? But I love it because I'm that way. I'm very straight up, and everybody can't take it, and they couldn't take you either. So they could not. You was everything in a bag of chips. Okay. Um, what clicked in your mind that made you make the decisions that you were going to do to win? I know the first season you ended up winning the HOH, ended up staying in the house. But the way you were nominated the first week, I kind of think about Taylor's the whole thing, her in the house, how she was nominated. I was compared. I mean, I don't compare because all y'all are different. But when I looked at her, I did think about you, how you were treated kind of ugly, especially in the beginning, and she was able to overcome it. So when you watched the season, how did you feel watching that this season? I mean, Rachel, Rachel, did I lose you? Hang on, y'all. Let me see what happened. I don't know what happened. I swear, computers and phones, all this crap. I have no idea. I'm so sorry.
No, gosh, don't even worry about it. I heard it's so weird because I heard your question about Taylor, and then I was like, "Oh, Taylor," and I was like, "Yeah, this past season." And then you're like, "Hello, hello," and I was like, "Oh my God, did you hear anything?" So did you hear what I talked about
I didn't hear
about?
anything. I didn't hear you respond at all. You just jumped right in what you were gonna say. Did hear what I said about the question about Taylor? How I felt like you guys not similar, but she went through a lot of crap, and then you
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
okay. Go ahead, Mom. You go right
Yeah,
ahead.
how did I feel watching this season? Yeah,
Yes.
no, and that's what I was saying. I loved watching this season with Taylor because I did feel a lot like so the thing is like Taylor didn't really do anything to deserve for people to just not like her. Whereas like I was definitely up in people's faces. So it was no surprise to me that I was on the block every week. Like every time I was like expecting to go on the block. Whereas I feel like with Taylor, it was always kind of like she was like a little bit surprised because she didn't really have a reason for people to
Mhm.
put her on the block
Right.
until it became a thing. Then after that, she's like, well, I'm not surprised.
Right.
But I feel like watching that, I definitely felt like I felt like it was a similar journey. And I remember saying like at the end, so she was nominated, I guess, 6 times. I was nominated like 5 times. And then I think because we both sat on the block like maybe the same amount of times or something.
Mhm.
And then she might have been nominated one extra week. I can't remember what the deal was. But anyways, but like we had such a similar journey, and it was so cool to see her win. And I felt like I felt for her, if that makes sense. I don't really know how to put it into words, but like I felt for her when I saw that happen to her every single week, and we were all rooting for her, you know? And so it was like we were all like, oh, why is this like, why does she keep getting put on the block, and why is she dealing with all this stuff? But it was good to see like the ending. I felt like Taylor was really strong with like the way that she was able to articulate her feelings and articulate what was going on, and how she was able to pull people on her side. Like I said to her in all the interviews all the interviews, I did one interview with her, but I was like, it was so cool to see that, like, to see her just really be able to pull all the women on her side, because I wish I could have done that, and like I just didn't have that gift. But she was able to pull the women on her side, and she was able to, obviously, like, she got Monty to bring her to the final two, so it's like she was just so good at like playing the game in a totally different way than I was.
Mm.
And so it was like, it was so interesting to see how she played. And I feel like she changed the game. I mean, like, maybe I changed it a little bit, but like she's
Oh,
gonna change it for like 10 years to come, you know what I mean? So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how people play next season, because when they're going through casting, they're I love Taylor, and I want to
yeah,
see if
for
people
sure.
can emulate that game. You know what I mean?
No, a lot of things have changed. She made it where, like I said, Black content creators are able to interview. As far as,
Oh yeah.
be clear, we weren't allowed to, really speak to you guys, and it really wasn't necessarily you guys' fault. But she made a conscious decision where she said, "I want to interview with people of color podcasters." She made a point of saying that, so these things happen because of it. So yes, she changed that. You also changed things because it's like for a woman coming into the situation, it could be all dainty and nice, but then you was like, "Look, it is what it is." And
Yeah.
that is something that,
That's
I'm
right.
sorry, that's something that's me. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have gotten what I've gotten in the blog entry if I wasn't just like, baby, I'm not worrying about what y'all doing, what about Cameshiareviews are doing, period. And that's just you brought that to Big Brother. It needed to happen. That big
Yeah.
dainty stuff is not even me. So I
Right.
talk more with what you got going on than
Thank you. Yeah.
I can't
Same. And I think it's like one of those things, like, at the end of the day, we're competing for a half a million. Well, I was half a million. Taylor was like 800,000,
exactly, exactly.
She flexed. It was
I know,
like
right? Drip,
we
that was
all
a
we
drip,
got some
yeah.
prize money. She got a flex. Like, I mean, that
Yes.
was amazing. But yeah, like, it's crazy because you're competing for this much money, and I hate when people just sit back and don't care. And yeah, that was one thing I did say in my interviews. I was like, I'm not gonna sit back and let other people win $500,000 and take that money from me, because that's, I had it in my head going in, like, that's my money to win. So
Man, I love that.
yeah.
Speaking of my thing, I want to go ahead and bring something really quick. Now, you and your beautiful fiance, you guys are a beautiful family. At the time, women were, getting no guys throughout the house or whatever, and some women were persecuted for it. But Taylor was persecuted a lot because of her and Monty. I would love to know how you feel about that, watching it and listening, saying, "Okay, I met my husband on my show." How do you feel about that? Because they've dragged her pretty bad. They still do to this day. They still do.
I mean, I haven't seen her being dragged for that, because I always feel like she is just like, it happened. Who cares? Let's move on. And like, it's like dating. Like, who hasn't dated someone? Like,
They did.
she dated Monty. I felt like, to be honest, I thought it when they were in the house, I kind of liked it. Like, I thought it was cute. I don't know. Like, I rooted for it when she was into him, and then when she decided she wasn't into him, I was like, all right, we're moving on. Like, I don't know.
Period.
I feel like it was I don't know. I feel like it's her life, her personal decisions, and like, as she said in like on the internet a bunch, she's like, it's Taylor. It's not like Taylor Monty or Taylor and Joseph. It's Taylor. So like, we like Taylor. So, and I like Joseph too. I'm not saying I don't like Joseph. I'm
Right,
just
right,
saying, like, you
right.
know, if Taylor wants to, date whoever, then, but I honestly, I didn't know that people drug her for it. Like, I didn't take it. I didn't take it as a drag, but maybe that's because I was in a showmance, and so with
It's
my
horrible.
showmance, I always kind of I
Women,
like showmances.
no, it's what I mean by that. I mean, women get. I really should have maybe say that as women on any platform, if they're doing anything like that, they're drag. So I'm not even just saying Taylor. I'm just saying I don't understand that because I think if it was Monty, just Monty doing it, no one would have said anything. In fact, they have not said anything about Monty. They just mostly focus on what she's done with him, and I don't think that's fair. So that's why I wanted to get your opinion about that because I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. Like I was just like you with it. When it was done, I was done. I was like, cool, and that's all
Yeah.
comments. I'm like, what? So
I
yes,
mean, when I thought, and Taylor hasn't said this, and this is just me projecting, I
right.
thought Taylor was using Monty in the end. I was like, she's a genius. Like, this is the best thing ever. And then I was like totally into it because, like, yeah, for sure, guys do that all the freaking time. Like, did you watch All Stars? Like, all you Big Brother fans that want to say that, like, Mike Boogie and Will did that to Janelle and Erica. So, like, yeah, guys do that all the time. But, like, by the same token, then Taylor came out and she was not came out, but like she on the show still kind of acted like she liked him. So I was like, okay, well, maybe she likes him. So if she likes him, then we like him. I don't know. Like, I, I guess I was just kind of always going along with it. But no, I know what you're saying. Like, as far as women being allowed to, like, I don't know, have a showmance or whatever, do whatever they want, whereas they're judged a little bit more harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely don't like that. And we see it on like The Bachelor, we see it on The Bachelorette. Like, it comes out in all these dating shows. So I think, but I didn't really see that this season on Big Brother. I felt like everyone was like really into, if Taylor liked Monty, then we were all like supportive of it. And then, I mean, of course, I saw some people that were like trolls, but
Yeah.
I
Of,
like all the showmances,
of course,
frankly.
girl, I got to see
And
them.
if Taylor wanted to like use him to make, $800,000, good for her. Like,
Yeah,
it's money. Like, do it. Like, it's a
100%.
game.
I agree. I agree. I said, do what you got to do as a woman or whatever. We
Right.
have to use our body, do whatever we want to do with it,
Yeah.
especially when money's involved. Okay.
Yeah. Right. That's what I say too. But like, by the way, Taylor did not say that she did that. So like, I don't want
No,
anyone
she's
thinking
not
that we're
saying
saying that. She
she has
just said,
never said that.
no,
Right.
she has never said that. She doesn't really even talk about it.
She
But
does
like,
very little.
whatever she wants to do, I'm always like, I just supported her decision. I was never like, I don't know, I was never like judging her decision. But yeah, I mean, like, when I was on Big Brother with my showmance, Julie Chen went on like the Late Show or something and was like, Rachel and Brendan are having sex on Big Brother. And it was like, oh my God, my parents are watching this. Like,
Who's? Oh wow, damn.
I know. And that I looking back, I was like, dude, we were falling in love. We were like, every day, like the show, it was not like the show, like I just didn't know why they chose to highlight that. Now that I've been in entertainment for 10 years, I'm like, it's something they want people to like, ooh, someone's having sex on Big Brother.
Yeah.
We should watch.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fine. And I think like it it's probably, if it's the girls, if it's the guys, if it's the, you know, if it's a LGBTQ plus couple, we're all
Mhm.
going to talk about it because it's, Big Brother. And that's
Yeah.
something to talk about that's different than just the gameplay.
I agree. I love your answer for one. Everything you said was perfect. Do you feel like that? For being a woman on a competition show, did you see any changes in your opinion? I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about like you watch years later on, because you did other shows and stuff as well. But watching Big Brother, did you feel like it changed? Because to me, honestly, I didn't really see like another one like you. the way
Yeah.
you came through with the raw. I just didn't see it, and I wanted to see it so badly. A lot of women did. Trust.
Yeah. You mean like another
Oh,
competitive season
yes,
or like,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Well, I think people like over the past 10 years have been more aware of like if you're too abrasive in the house, people will try to get rid of you or they'll target you. And like I think that that's definitely something, I mean, I would love to see it because I like that kind of player, right? I play messy. But I think like the smart thing to do on Big Brother is probably not to play messy. And like I know what you're saying because I want to see it as a fan too. But it's like when you're in that house, it is hard because you can't be that person and be up in people's faces, and unless you know you're going home and you just don't care, then
Okay.
like please give us the drama, for the love of God. Like, this is what we get the popcorn popping for, and like, we're like, whoa, what is going on? But
Yeah.
like, otherwise, unfortunately, I think that the smart way to play is probably to play more like a game like Taylor, because she was so smart with her relationships. I mean, dude, if Daniel got in my face, I swear to you, like, I mean, I can't, I don't know. Like, I don't know, but like, I will tell you, I would have got back up in that man's face.
Me
And
too.
like,
Ain't gonna lie.
that's the thing. Like, but she was smart, because if she did that, she would have been on the block.
Yeah.
People would
Yeah.
have targeted her. She probably wouldn't have won.
Mhm.
She had to keep her composure. And I think, like, as much as we want to see the drama and get the popcorn out, like,
You gotta
to
be
be a
smart.
smart player, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta be smart.
Did you feel any pressure going on Amazing Race? Because you had
Oh no, not at all. I mean,
really.
pressure to, like, win, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
I mean, we definitely like trained a bunch. Like, I was jogging 3 miles a day and wearing a backpack while I was doing it. We were going hiking for like 10 miles a day, and like, or not a day, but like, when we would go hiking for like 10 miles, and we trained a lot. So I think like the pressure was definitely, we felt pressure to win, but not like, I don't know, maybe we felt pressure to perform. I guess I haven't really reflected on that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but it was a different Amazing Race at the time
Okay.
too.
Right.
So
Compared to now, yeah, it's
yeah.
different. Why did you never go on a challenge? Was there something? Would
Ugh.
you offer? You just didn't want to do it, or just
Yeah, I mean, they definitely asked me to do it this season, and at the time, I had also just got done filming Snake in the Grass, so I got the call. So this is what happened: we all got the call. Me and Janelle got the call for Snake in the Grass,
mm-hmm.
and Suri and Stephanie, and then we filmed. Well, I think I got the call because I got Snake in the November, December. So I must have gotten call for challenge, but I'd already signed on to do Snake in the Grass, and the challenge didn't, it was like, maybe you'll be on, maybe this will happen, and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, well, if you guys can't tell me anything, then I'm going to definitely do this, this other show that's like giving me a contract and is going to pay me money.
100%?
And so it was basically like one of those situations. And then, of course, when the new year happened, and like, I don't, because also with Alyssa was in nursing school, my sister.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
she told them, she's like, I need to know an answer by I think she had to know by like the beginning of December, because you have to sign up for classes, you have to register, especially nursing school. She had
Yes.
to register, she had to pay, she had to like have everything lined up for January. And it was probably like, she gave them as long as she could. She gave them until like the middle of December and was like, I need to know if this is happening, if I'm gonna be on it for sure, like what all the details are. And they just told her they couldn't tell her. And since they said they couldn't give her the information, she was like, well, I'm not gonna sit around and wait. And then at that same time, I left December 3rd, I guess, to go film Snake in the Grass. And I was like, and Janelle too, because they called Janelle for the challenge also. And so we were, all three of us were just like, well, they haven't told us anything about the challenge. They're calling all these, like, everyone got a call for the challenge, I think, everyone.
Dang.
And we are just like, we don't know like who's going to be on the show, like what's going on. And the producers at B&M were just like, so, I mean, they were just not like, I have never heard good things about them, but dealing with them in person, they were just not like, they were not very good at answering questions. And I asked for a contract, like, I mean, I probably asked for a contract, 10 times, and they didn't give me a contract until like the very last minute. And I was like, you guys want me to leave next week and you just gave me a contract? It was like literally last minute. So
Mama too. You can't do
yeah.
something.
No, exactly. And I'm a mom, right? And I'm a mom, and you want me to leave for 6 weeks? Like, it's just too much. Like, I, I told them, like, I need to know, I need a contract in my hand. I need to know, like, months in advance so I can set my life up. The 6 weeks. It's not just like, a day. Like we filmed Snake in the Grass in I think 7 days. So it's like,
Dang.
sure, I know, I know, right? 7 days. It was amazing. But like
Wow. Okay.
7 days versus 6 weeks. Like,
That's a big difference. And the contract and it's I'm
yeah,
like, I know I'm choosing Snake in the Grass.
right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And they were so nice to us. Like, oh my God, you don't understand. Every time they called us, they were like, the executives called, making sure we were comfortable on board. Do we need anything? Are we good with our tickets? Are we good with this? Are we good with that? Do we, I mean, I promise you, it was just like night and day from the casting. So yeah, I would love to go. Like, in my brain, I would love to go on the challenge.
So, as far as well, Snake in the Grass. Tell me about Snake in the Grass. Did that? How was that experience? It sounded like it was a good experience. So tell me about that.
Yeah, Snake in the Grass was so much fun. It was honestly one of my favorite shows that I've ever filmed. So we get to Costa Rica. So like obviously they called up me, and they called up Janelle, Suri, and Stephanie. We didn't know that they had called us, that we were all doing it until we got to the Costa Rica. But like they had called us all, which is like I'm so excited because like just landing in Costa Rica and seeing Stephanie and Suri and Janelle was like, oh my gosh, like these women are legends. Like Suri, like I'm gonna
Right.
be like chilling with Suri from Survivor. Like I couldn't, and Janelle, like I've never gotten to play a game with Janelle. Like we did Amazing Race together, but I'd never gotten to hang out with her. So I think just the experience of being with these women was crazy because it was just like I was super fanning, and it was just like I was a fangirl geeking out with them. But then also like everyone was so nice. We got to Costa Rica. We were just like we had such a great time when we were filming. Of course, like filming was hard. It was like a little mini Survivor, but it was such a fun game that we got to like play, and it was quick, and it was I don't know. I just thought I'm glad I got to do the experience. I hope that they have like 100 more seasons because I thought it was a fun show to watch as well.
Okay. It's the thing about it. I heard a little bit about it, but to me, it didn't get enough traction. Most of it, they was talking about you and Janelle, and I had pointed it out to my people. I was like, we got to watch this show because our girls are on it. But you really
Yeah.
hear a whole lot about it, which is unfortunate. Even with y'all winning and splitting the money, no one talks about it. Like, I didn't see it, and I was like, why? Because it actually was a pretty cool show. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it'll be on Peacock. It'll be on Peacock in, I think, January. It's either December or January. It's going to be coming on Peacock too. So it aired on USA Network, but now they're putting it on Peacock.
Oh, that's good because Peacock is really blowing up right now. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually a thing. They probably had you coming on as a guest or something like. Would you go on there again if they asked you to? Because I know she's
What,
gonna
on
have.
Snake in the Grass?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I would do anything they asked me to do.
so they might.
I had such a good experience. It was just like incredible. Yeah, if they ever had like you needed me for anything, I would do it.
So for anybody like myself or other people who want to join the reality TV, whether it be Big Brother or Challenge or whatever, because I said one day I might go on Big Brother, but I don't know because I'm not into no alcohol situation there. I just can't do it. So I just know I could. What advice would you give for somebody who's applying? I know that it's been some years, this time to change, but to me, it's still kind of the same. So, if you was to give somebody advice going in the house, what would you tell them?
Yeah, well, I work in casting too. So I think the best advice that I can give someone is to be like 100% yourself, but like to do that without like don't apologize for who you are. Like don't dial it down, don't say answers you think they want to hear.
Mhm.
Like you can't be um you just like put your heart in your sleeves, and you can't be like filtered. Like they don't want to hear, oh, I'll be really good at winning the game because I'm like a huge fan of Big Brother. They want to hear like, I'm a huge fan of Taylor. I loved watching her. I loved Janelle. I loved Rachel. I loved Danielle Reyes. Like these women are my inspiration. When I go in that house, I'm going to play the game like how they've played the game. I've been watching them. I, you know, funny story. One day I had a party, a Big Brother premiere party, and we were, you know, playing Big Brother and I had to be Rachel or something. You know, like
I
tell
got
stories.
it.
Like talk about like don't talk about like, don't say I'm gonna win. Say why you're gonna win.
Actually, I apply it every year, and I always
Oh,
say
okay.
I wish they would have a bloggers version because a lot of us, go through the trenches with the show throughout the whole year. But I always say, how we act if we're in the house because it's different. We can't talk crap if we're in the house. Seriously.
That's true.
So I always say, I wonder how it would be if they had a bunch of us in the house. That would be a crazy season because they would humble all of us.
Yeah, it would be crazy because also you would have to kind of like navigate being in there with other people that you already have worked with, right? So I think it
Yes.
would be it would be really interesting.
So maybe you should pass the word.
Yeah. I will.
Well, Mama, I appreciate you coming on, and I know you are, like I said, you're a mama, and I remember my kids being that small. My kids would be at the bathroom door banging. When I'm trying to
Oh,
go to the bathroom.
yeah,
I couldn't do anything.
literally.
So again, thank you for coming on, Mama. I appreciate you 100%. You were still the queen, and you are a pioneer of you
You.
are that girl. Okay, you are
Oh,
that girl. So
okay.
understand that. All right, Mama. Thank you again, baby. I appreciate it so much for coming on for Cameshiareviews Reviews, reality TV conversations. Thank you.
Yay!
Bye.